Hello, I wanted to do an update video of my chapter 13. So I'm halfway through and I had some questions. So I made some calls to find out where my account is and how it's going. So I wanted to give the feedback to you guys. If you guys have any questions, go back to the first video and kind of follow the journey and then you'll understand this video. And then if you have any questions, send them below. Thank you. Once again, I think one of the biggest things about doing the chapter 13 is where did my credit score go? I'll say the biggest influx is in your first year. It's going to be like a roller coaster. As you can see, my credit score was never good. From the very beginning, it was at 630, and I just could not get it up with the amount of debt that I had. So I filed and it went down even lower. And then after 90 days, you see it go up. After a year, it goes way up. And then after the second year, it hovers around the same. And right now, I'm still at pretty much the same. I'm at 709 and 711. I could never get those numbers 2 years ago before the bankruptcy. So that's where I'm at right now. It's about 11% increase. If this is your first time seeing any of the videos, this slide will show you exactly what my debt looked like. So you can go through and kind of compare it to your debt. But, I had multiple credit cards, personal loans, mortgage, phone bill, all that stuff. So basically, the quick rundown is with the Chapter 13, you're going to eliminate all your unsecured debt, and then you're going to keep the recurring charges. Like I wanted to keep my mortgage, so that's why I did Chapter 13 and not 7. Personal loan gone, phone bill, internet, car insurance, utilities. That's all going to stay recurring. That's going to stay with you because that's something that you deal with on a monthly basis. The car payment, I was close to paying off my car, so I didn't include it in the Chapter 13. And then everything from there down is all gone and included in the Chapter 13. When I first started this journey, this was my debt amount. It was 55,000. That didn't include obviously the car and the mortgage. This is just unsecured. What I wanted to put into the Chapter 13. I actually think it was a little more than this, but that's what I was able to get when I went and filed for Chapter 13. So I took these numbers from my actual filing paperwork. A lot of the questions I've been asked is, how do the payments work? Do they change? Um, where are you at now? So I kind of want to just run through that really quick because that was my question. So I called them yesterday. I wanted to get a rundown of like what's going on. Is it going to change? And so when I first filed, my biweekly was 186. And then after I paid off my car, um, it shows that basically you have more money that you can disperse. So it went from 186 to 204. And then I'm going to show you what's going to happen next. So on here, you can see the biweekly. I had 4 payments of 184. That's the very beginning of this Chapter 13. That readjusted to 207. And if you see, it goes to number of payments 72. Okay, so I saw this and I was excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm almost done. And, I looked at the dates. I was like, okay, I'll be done early next year. I can't believe how fast this went and blah, blah, blah. Well, that wasn't the case. So, uh, if you could see on the bottom, the one that's blank, that basically means that after the 72, it's going to change to 273. And then it'll show the remaining amount of payments. So my Chapter 13 is a 60-month duration. So that doesn't change or shorten. It's 60 months. That's what it is. So my payments, the reason it changes from 207 to 273 is because as of May 7th, 2026, I have a 401k loan. And on that month, my loan is paid off. So basically, the trustee looks at it as, okay, you paid off that loan. Now you're going to have extra income. So they readjusted from 207 to 273. So the same thing will go for you if you have, whatever yours is set at and you're paying a car loan or you're paying, like, say, your house or something. If you pay off your house, if you pay off your car, you're going to be seen as having extra income, so you could put more money towards your Chapter 13. And that's basically what this is. So um, I did get excited because I thought I was done soon, but no, I'm actually halfway through. I'm 30 months in. This just means that I have one other debt coming off, and then more money is going to be freed up. That's basically what this means. All right, here I want you to see the top left. That's my first disbursements that came from my employee payroll check. So basically, you set up the sheet, you send it to your HR department. They set it up. They do auto payments. So every time you get paid, they're gonna get paid. So that was the very beginning. The bottom left is as of today. So as you could see 10/10/25. My last payment was 207. You notice that nothing changes. It's always 207.67. My total amount is 12,700. That's what I paid in the 60 months, which is amazing because if I would have done it on my own without the Chapter 13, I would have paid probably double that, probably 24,000, and my debt would still be the same. With the interest charges and everything, nothing would have been changed. I would have been in this exact same spot, drowning in the debt. So like here, there's actually a plan. You can see the disbursements on the right here. And I want to go through how it gets dispersed because that was one of the questions I had. Like, if there's 13 things, are they paying off one at a time? Are they paying all 13? I didn't understand how that went. So I'm going to explain it real quick. All right, to go back to the last slide, who gets paid? Okay, so I went through all my payments. Basically, they do a minimum payment for every creditor. And it's kind of not like the snowfall effect where you pay one more than the other. Obviously, you can see Capital One, it gets $87, so they'll get more than everybody else. But what I've noticed is everyone's getting paid. The thing is, the interest is not going up. So this is going straight to a debt, and then you can see the number get lower, which is cool. So you could actually see the finish line. It's I'll just take these for example, and I'll show you on the next slide how it works out. So monthly, you'll get what your disbursements was and where it goes. Then here, you'll see all your debt. So basically, you'll have everyone that's in your file and then what you paid to date. Okay, so like Citibank, I paid 567, Capital One, 1300. You know what I mean? So obviously, Capital One was my biggest. I think it was like 11,000. So I paid 13 halfway through. So if you do the math, I'll probably pay what, $3,000 on that total debt. If I was doing it on my own, you're looking at 10 years to pay that off. So this is how it goes. The only thing I don't really like is it doesn't show you, 70 out of 300 or 500 out of 2,000. Like that would be a little cooler to show you that, okay, that one's almost off your record completely. But it's just good to see it this way. And then I know my payment's not going to change. So um, I don't really care, I guess, where it goes to and who it goes to, as long as they're all getting paid and there's no issues as far as like my credit report going forward. Okay, another thing I went through with the trustee is what are the rules of what I can't do. I know originally when I filed, I went through it with a lawyer, but I really didn't like dig into it. I didn't really understand. So there's like 10 rules, but like these are the top five. So some of the things you can't do is you can't take on new debt without the court approval. So I looked into that. Like you can get like a $2,000 credit card, but you can't get a 4,000, 5,000. You have to get approval. So anything big, you have to contact the court. You can't sell, give away, or transfer property without approval. So if you sell a car, it's going to look like you have more income. So then your payment might change. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you got to kind of really think about, like, you have the 60 months. Like me, I'm halfway through. I'm not going to even look into taking on new stuff or selling anything because I'm halfway through. I want to get through this, and then I could go and get whatever I want or sell whatever I need. You can't miss any payments. So in my case, it's coming straight out of my weekly check. So the only issue I'll have is like if I lost my job, then I would have to contact the court and then we would have to figure out what's going to happen going forward. But it's all based on your income. So like I would think if I lost my job and I'm on unemployment, for 6 months or whatever, I would have to pay what a portion of what I get from unemployment. So I think it would just readjust, but you would still stay on the 60 months. You can't ignore income changes. So that was one of the ones he was just telling me. He was like, have I got a raise? I did get a raise, but it was like a $2 raise. So it's really insignificant. So like if it was to change my plan, it would change by like $1, nothing dramatic. But I mean, if you get like a $10 raise or you're making $25,000 more than you did, then you're going to have to contact your trustee in the court, and then they're going to readjust your payment. It's a lot like child support. It's the same thing where, it goes based on your income. So if your income goes up or down, you can get that readjusted. You can't incur large expenses without approval. So that kind of sounds like um, number one, you can't take on new debt, but it's a little different. So you can't go out and buy a boat. You can't go buy a new house. Anything that is going to um, have you take on new debt, you're not allowed to. So you have to get the court approval. I would say my suggestion is if you're going to do anything like that, I mean, have it in your wife's name or just wait, wait to do it. I mean, I wouldn't risk it. I mean, to me, I'm halfway through. I've been so happy throughout the process. My life has changed. I don't want to risk anything, so I'm just gonna follow these rules and continue moving forward. Um, if you have any questions, subscribe, uh, ask below, contact me directly, let me know. I mean, I'm going through the journey for the first time and I'm learning a lot, but I have a lot of questions, and I had a lot of questions before that I couldn't find on the internet. And that's why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing them so that people can understand that it's, although it's looked at as a bad thing, it's a really good thing, and it's really there to help you and help you get out of your bad situation. So don't look at chapter 13 as something bad. Look at it as something positive and that could help you get back to normal. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.